What's going on, Facebook family? It's been a while since I've done a late night. I want to touch on a topic that woke me up out of my sleep just now while I was in Chicago. People falling, but I'm standing. People are falling everywhere you go. People are getting exposed everywhere you go. The darkness of other people are being brought to light everywhere you go. Scandals, gossip, hidden skeletons. And then people like me are still standing. We're still winning. We're still pushing forward. Not a soul on the earth can expose people like me. Not that we're perfect, because God knows all of us are filthy rags. All of us are pretty much fail and fall short every day. But I want to give you what I've built my foundation on, that keeps me standing, that keeps me going, that no matter who falls around me, I'm always able to pick up and keep going, and I think I can. I always make it to the mountaintop. Trust God in all of your ways, and He shall direct your path. Right? Don't lean on your own understanding. He'll direct your path. Built on the rock and not on the sand. So when the storms come, you don't get knocked down. These are very practical. In business, in careers, in church, or whatever you do in life, this is practical. When you study architecture, if there's a crack in the infrastructure, that building has to be knocked down. They have to do a demolition if they can't fix it while the building is still intact. Now, when you build the infrastructure of the building, the infrastructure is going to tell you how many years the building is able to stand and how much weight that building is able to hold. Raccoon just went right by my feet. Unbelievable. Anyways, so the infrastructure is going to determine how high you could build the building. How much weight can that building hold? And what's the expiration date on how many years that building is predicted to stand? Now, you never want to put maximum weight on the building, because now you're just taking years off the longevity of the building. You don't want to abuse the building. You don't want to, break the shoulders or the legs of the building. You want to put just enough weight that's to get by and to preserve longevity. People are falling everywhere around me, but I'm still standing. In my life, on the internet, famous people, politicians, famous pastors, businessmen that I have affiliations with, I'm seeing them fall. I'm seeing them crack. I'm seeing them be exposed. I'm seeing dirty secrets and ugly skeletons be brought to light out their closet. And now they have to run with excuses, make up stories, and rebrand themselves off the people that show support, whether they're wrong or right. You don't want to be put in that position, because your resume stays with you forever. And how I did it was, I stood at the bottom all my life. And even when I got to my pinnacle of success, which I fell down right now, I'm broken, I'm, down to the dirt again. But it's the reason why when I go to the pinnacle of my success or my prime, and even when I take a fall back down to dirt in bankruptcy, I fall back down on the same strong foundation that I spent decades building before even opening my mouth. I've spent decades building a foundation on who and what kind of a man I want to be in life before ever opening my mouth, before ever claiming to be something that I aspire to be. Before getting people involved to team up with me, before asking money and support from people to invest in me, I built a foundation that was so impenetrable. Then I waited on God's approval. So 2 things. I built my foundation on the rock. Then, to get God's approval, I acknowledged Him in all of my ways, and He started to direct my path. Then, and only then, I seen open doors open up that I could have never got on my own on my lonely, without God's help. Seen a video about Pastor John Gray with his disagreement with Ron Carpenter. Now, I read about an hour, seen a few videos, Unlike me, I don't gossip, I don't spread rumors, and I don't get involved with people's business, but it inspired the video. Seems like they have a disagreement. Ron is not paying the property taxes on purpose, and allegedly, Pastor John Gray is like 3 or 4 months rent behind, even though attorneys got involved saying everything's been paid. Now, it seems like 2 men bumped their heads, and nobody's budging, and everybody wants somebody to bow down. And you know how men get, so sometimes people have to exit the building and start from scratch. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Because God bless those 2 men and their lawyers, and hope everybody gets along, pays what's owed, and puts the pettiness behind them. Because this is business, not just church. When you involve real estate, this is now business. And yes, as Christian men with the Holy Ghost, don't do dirty business. All right? Even if it's millions of dollars at stake, don't do dirty business. Because I've been involved with dirty business. I've been sued. I had the IRS come at me one time because I didn't pay 2 years of my income tax. I've went through battles in business, and slowly but surely I paid everybody off, and I redeemed my image because I don't do dirty business. So that's what I got to say about that. Hope those 2 men lock arms and continue doing something that they should be doing, which is the correct thing to do. So that inspired the video of men falling, people falling, but I'm still standing. And even though I've been involved in dirty business, attacks against me, my foundation, right? For instance, right? Me and this Lithuanian guy, he was my old contractor. I was 1099 underneath his incorporation. We had a big disagreement, and thousands of dollars was lost. Not really on his end. I lost like $7,000. And, he didn't want to. I was the one that said, I forgive you because I did some wrong things. I've done some correct things. Forgive me, even though you did some wrong things and you did some correct things. We have to weigh the scale. There was both wrong and there was both right on both ends. We can't go back in time because there's no such thing as a time machine. So we can move forward. Unlike him, my foundation was built off righteousness and truth. Even though I wasn't a perfect man, I did things the kingdom way. Since I was like 4 years old, I saw a movie called King Arthur and the Holy Grail, Lancelot. I saw a second movie called The Odyssey. And from that day forward, I told my older brother, I want to be a king when I grew up. When they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said king. And then eventually I got realistic and I said businessman. Even though both are realistic, but I had to choose something to do on this earth as a career. So I combined business and kingdom. This was before I became a man of God. Then I realized Jesus is all about the same thing, kingdom and business. So my old boss went to the same place I was buying my truck at. The same place. We didn't see each other, but we have the same salesman. So I go see my man Joe. He's like, yo man, your old boss was just here. He's coming back Monday, Tuesday to buy a couple trucks. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, finalizing my deal. I'm waiting for the bank to release funds. Then I can sign and leave the lot with my new truck. Will I see my old boss or my old, business partner? Maybe. Now, it's the father. I had a disagreement with the son's dispatcher. It was really between me and the dispatcher. And I had to, I forgot that the dispatcher was not the owner of the company. So when me and the dispatcher went head to head, I ended up ruining my relationship with the son, because the son is like part owner of the company. Me and the father always had good business, always. But what if the father takes the son's side? Cause that's how most immigrants do. They rally up and they don't choose sides. So I always make sure that my foundation doesn't have any cracks in it. So even if I fall down on solid ground and I just rebuild myself. The type of fall that I'm talking about in the video is when somebody falls and they have no solid ground. They fall all the way down to the quicksand of life because they built their empire of scandals. They were trifling. They were, they were just shysty. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't right. They was wrong. And you can't do that. Everybody falling, but I'm still standing. Always still standing. I had to give my 27 acres of land back. That was that hurt. I'm still standing. I had to pay every dollar out of my name. I got like $75 to my name. I'm not even worried or nervous because Jehovah Shammah, my God, is my provider. He's in my presence and in my time of need, and he's always on time. I had to involve my parents in my business. I had to involve one of my brothers in my business. I had to involve certain investors in my business. Needless to say, I probably owe people a lot of money. But I was able to call my relationships that was able to let me stand. And I couldn't do that if I was a messed up person. Everywhere I go in life, I tell people, I built my success off of transformational relationships. A relationship with Christ is also a transformational relationship. My parents helping me out because when I was 21, I came out of jail and I was determined to rebuild a relationship with my parents and make that transformational. Everywhere I go, to the janitor, to the CEO, to the guy cleaning out the dumpster, or to the guy putting money in the vault, I built transformational relationships with countless amounts of people, not just in my home state, but across the 48 states of America. And that's why I'm still here. I'm still standing. I got people who are millionaires texting me, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, by the way, brother, I'm praying for you. Hope for the best. Call me and let me know when you bounce back from this deficit. Those are people I met throughout the years that I built transformational relationships. I've never asked for anything. I've never begged. I never was entitled. I never was a spoiled brat. I never was a man with a hidden motive to be trifling and scandalous and just dirty, trying to throw people under the bus to make it to the top. I never stood on the shoulders of somebody drowning just to let my face be seen and recognized. Never, ever, ever. I'm the man that picked people up and broke my shoulders. And that's how I got recognized by the big guys, because they saw my heart, my kingdom heart. So I could go to a dealership and tell them, listen, man, that truck costs $40,000. I'm not doing it. And have him tell me, I'll give it to you for $35 out the door. I could tell the bank, I'm not giving you $14,000 down. I only have $5,000. And the bank tell me, well, give me $9,000. I can make that happen. Let me go call somebody I know and borrow $4,000. Because I built a foundation with no cracks. I built a reputation of beauty. And, I was lovely to people. I was awesome to people. And now people are awesome to me. That's the only way to do it, guys. I told a familiar person one time, I said, you can't really teach people about success and perseverance and grit because you built all of it off of credit. I built all of it off of relationships. I had no money. I had no credit. I was a 2-time felon and 2-time misdemeanor. I had nothing. My family tree comes from poverty. My father is pretty much the first generation to go from poverty to middle class. And me being third generation, I'm trying to take the middle class to the high class. And I will, by the grace and mercy and allowance of the God I serve, because I'm a good man. Eric Thomas once said, why this guy got to give you $1 million if you're not trying to help 1 million people? Stay with the average money. Get your average salary. The big money go to good people. Across the street from me is a truck place called Windy City J. They tried to screw me. They said, Mr. Perez, we'll take your $5,000 down, but you got to pay us $2,400 a month. $2,400 a month for a used truck, a brand new truck that costs $130,000, $150,000. 2020 costs less than that. About that. $2,400 is a brand new 2020. That's $150,000. You know why? Because my buddy has 2 of them. So I told him, you're not dealing with a fool. I may be broke. I may not have a lot of resources. I may not be educated according to your college measurement. But one thing I know is I was born with the dirt on my back from the bottom. And now I walk on the dirt with my shoes and my head up high because King Jesus put me on top of my reality. I'm no longer from the dirt. I only use the dirt to plant seeds and grow. The dirt is my best friend. Seeds go in the dirt. Fruit come out the dirt. Vegetables come out the dirt. The buildings and the infrastructure gets planted and drilled in the dirt with concrete. The dirt is beautiful, and that's my friend. So when you try to remind me that I come from the dirt, and you try to take advantage of me because you think I'm just a man from the dirt, don't forget the building you're sitting on and this concrete lot was built on the dirt. Man was created from the dirt. So life always starts with dirt. The beginning always starts with dirt. Don't ever let somebody tell you ain't good enough because your background is dirt. So I went across the street to my man Joe, which I had to face him because the first deal we did was a $49,000 deal and it went bad. So I had to face him and make it right. Hey, Mr. Perez, man, the first deal was a beautiful, sweet deal, and it was the first deal you had on paper under your LLC. So that's probably going to put a thorn in your side, and the banks are going to see the red flag. But I'm going to fight for you, and I'm going to make sure you win. I'll put my credit and my face and reputation on the line with certain people who have signature power in the bank to approve the deal. I'll do that for you because you're my friend. So once we closed the deal, I invited him out to dinner. Now, I'm not trying to act like I'm better than people, but be ye separated, the Bible says. So I separated myself from those who do things that are not really kingdom-like. I wanted to make myself unique. When was the last time you bought a house from a realtor and then took him out to dinner to celebrate? When was the last time you bought a car off the lot and the salesman from the dealership, you took him out to dinner to celebrate? I do things that people don't do. That's why I don't fall like these people. There's safety in a multitude of wise counsel. I pay people to give me advice. I don't beg nothing for free. Now, after I pay, eventually, I get a lot of freebies because I builded a transformational relationship. Oh, it's cold out here in Chicago. Oh, my God. So understand what I'm trying to tell you guys. Everybody's falling, but I'm standing. Everybody's falling, but you guys are standing. It's because we did things the correct way. We don't have the money, the fame, the fortune, the cars, the glamour. We're not viral on social media or whatever the case may be, but we have a greater foundation than all those people. Trust me, I know some of the big people on Facebook and in the banking world and I know some big people in this life. And one thing they don't have that I have is transformational relationships. My foundation is stronger. My character is stronger. My support team is stronger. And mostly, my relationship with Christ is stronger. Because when you have nothing to offer, the only thing you have left is your integrity, your respect, your love, respect, and honor, which is the kingdom way. When you have nothing else to give in this world, When you have nothing else to manipulate, nothing else to play the cards you're dealt with, nothing in your life to use, all you have left is your kingdom heart. And when I finally get to the top, and those following me finally see me at the top, not only would I make people proud that believed in me, but I will also make the people like me that did not believe in me. Because you can't take nothing away from a person, man or woman or child, that fought with everything that they had. They gave everything that they had. So win, lose, or draw, you can't take nothing from them. As somebody always says, they paid for this, but I prayed for this. You can't take away something that wasn't built by money. Everything I got came from the hand of God. It came from the resources, from the sources of heaven. Everything I got. Oh my God. So the first deal I did with Joe was $49,000. The second deal I did was about $36,000. You know, taxes and tax tag and title, things like that. So extra $1,000 on that. You know, and I built these transformational relationships. I called my insurance company. Now I'm telling you some things. Don't overlook me because I'm not famous or rich. I called my insurance company. Now you tell me one person that has done this. I said I can't afford to pay you in November. So they said, Mr. Perez, we're gonna waive November. Just pay us in December for November and December. 2 insurance payments in 1 month. Now my insurance is $4,500, so that's about $9,000 in 1 month. I'm going to do it because I believe God didn't lead me this far to let me fail right now. I'm not gonna make a video about standing just to fall a couple weeks later. I called the bank that I have my trailer. I paid them about $1,500 a month. $1,700 if I'm late, which I am late. I said, I can't afford to pay you in November. She said, don't worry, Mr. Perez. We're going to waive November. Just pay us in December. We'll put November on the back end of the finance. So when you're going to have a balloon buyout now of that late payment. Okay, that's cool. Man, I've called the investors that gave me almost 10 grand. I said, listen, I can't pay you. I need some help right now. I need some leeway. Mr. Perez, let me check your history. You've done everything in due standing. You paid us on time and then some. Don't worry. How much time do you need? I'm not going to sue you. I'm not going to take you to collections. I'm going to give you some time. It's been about 2 months and a half. I just spoke to him today. Mr. Perez, congratulations on your truck. Let's pick up where we left off. Let me know when you're ready. Understand that. I got contacted by a lawyer because I failed to pay someone else, $2,800. So the lawyer came at me and I told him, I said, listen, here's my situation. Don't worry, Mr. Perez. We're not going to come at you. We're not going to seize property. We're not going to, all that stuff. They're going to put a lien and seize property from assets. Don't worry. We got you. I've called all these people because I built relationships with all these people. I was honest with all these people. People saw me with my back against the wall. People saw me taking punches and almost losing the fight. And they came to my rescue and they helped me. And this was people that God sent. God softened their heart to back me up in business. Nothing was for free. Nothing was begged for. And nothing was a handout. Everything was built off of transformational relationships and a solid foundation. I want to encourage you guys today to be the good guys. Be the good woman. Don't do anything dirty to get ahead. All right? Honor all your arrangements. Pay all your dues. When you shake hands, man, and you give verbal agreements or written contractual agreements, honor that. There's pride in that. Don't do anything dirty. I'm a Puerto Rican man in business. I'm the first 6-figure man in my family. I took $3,000 and flipped that into over $500,000 in less than 3 years. about 550,000 to be exact, and it's written on my bank statements. All because I built relationships, all because I was honest, all because I kept my deal. I didn't switch up, I didn't get ugly because there was a disagreement. I could disagree with you and still respect you. You could not agree with me and still do right by me in business. We could still get the job done because it's bigger than just me and you. There's families to feed. There's employees to pay. Understand what I'm saying? Man, I lost my gloves, man, on the plane or something. Man, my hands are freezing. I'm going to end the night like this. Acknowledge God in all of your ways, and he shall direct your path. Build your house on the rock, so when the storm comes, you don't fall like the sand does. Build transformational relationships. People think success is based on money. No, it's not. Resources are based on money. Options are based on money. Okay? Having help. Money's like the first aid kit for emergencies. But true success is having years upon years upon years of consistency and longevity of all the people around you and the relationships you make. All right? It's like having a marriage. Most people don't want to tell you the truth. They want to flaunt that their marriage has been there for 30, 40 years, but they don't want to tell you the truth. There's been scandals, there's been affairs, there's been domestic violence, there's been theft, whatever the case may be. So your marriage is not really successful. It is a cover-up. God bless the gentlemen and the ladies who do have a successful marriage of no scandals and no faults. It's okay to have some mess ups. No one's perfect. But I'm saying do things in honor. Fight your fight and win your fight. So your family, your sons and your daughters, your parents, your nieces and your nephews, your cousins, your uncles and your aunts, and everybody in your corner supporting you. When you die, they could salute you in pride and in honor. They don't have to lie on your funeral with a false eulogy. They don't have to give condolences from a place of a cover-up. They could stand on the mic and say, this person was a good man and a good woman, and he left us behind a solid foundation, like King David did to King Solomon. A solid foundation. And when King Solomon fell, God reminded him that I only blessed you because I wanted to honor David, my servant. The reason why I gave you the kingdom, King Solomon, is because I honored your father. Because your father did things with a transformational relationship. What you failed at, he succeeded. And before I take the throne away from you, I'm going to allow your son to have a piece of the kingdom. Not because of you, but because I honor your father. Man, take that with a big spoon and chew on that for real. Put that in your big gulp and sip on that, because that's really all you need in life to succeed. It's transformational relationships. All right? I still have investors that want to give me money. I got offered like 30 grand. I turned it down. I'm still buying. I'm still doing deals. I'm still in business. I still got brokers. I'm still here. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I hope I can stay standing forever. If I ever was to fall, it'll be because two things. I was foolish or I disobeyed God. Straight up. From those that know me from high school till now, you can't say nothing bad about me. Besides, I know everything bad I've done, but everything bad I've done, I only hurt myself. I've never hurt nobody else. You feel what I'm trying to say? Make sure you honor what you stand for. Okay? Make sure you're doing things with integrity in the darkness so no one could ever expose you. Make sure when you grab the mic and try to inspire 5 people or even 1,000,000 people, they can trust you because you are not a fake. You are the real deal, cut from a different cloth, as some will say. You understand where I'm going at? Let me get inside before I get sick, man. Build transformational relationships. You don't have to be exposed. You don't have to wait until the media exposes you to try to make excuses and, oh, I'm sorry. You know, you don't know the real story. I mean, I'm seeing all these people, man, on Facebooks with their screenshots and, you know, your inbox is on blast now, YouTube, people gossiping, you know what I'm saying? People being sued in court, people in the politics being exposed, pedophiles being exposed, people who, you know what I mean? I mean, all kind of bad people being exposed. When all you have to do is do what's right. All right? Darkness always comes to light. Do what's right. And I promise you, you will always be successful. Do what's right, and I promise you, whether rich or poor, small or big, whether you fail or succeed, in victory or defeat, people still salute you with honor and pride because you, as a person, you stand on solid ground. And not many people can stand solid. Everybody folds. Ice is solid until heat gets put on it, then it melts. Y'all be blessed.